What up, is Dane here. In this video, I'm going to be telling you proven scientific methods in order to lose belly fat fast, right? The stubborn belly fat, right? So if you're a male, this will be the lower back fat, the abdominal lower belly fat, and of course, if you're a female, this will be thigh fat and glute fat. So it's male and female friendly. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so let's understand why the fat is stubborn. Okay, so let's understand the physiology, right? So regardless of the hormones, testosterone, estrogen, obviously male have really low levels of estrogen, and vice versa for females, they're gonna have high levels of estrogen, low levels of testosterone, right? So scientific research has even shown that some males and females say they have identical fat cell physiology, right? Regardless of the fact, the hormones, the structure, all those kind of stuff, the majority of females, right, their fat cells are just wired. They're just wired that way, so most of the calories you consume are just stored in those places, and the same goes for males. Obviously, most of the calories males consume stored in the lower ab fat and the lower back fat. So that's probably the most simplest way I can explain why the fat is stubborn, but let me get it more scientific right here. Okay, let's begin to understand the adrenoceptors or redox, right? So basically we have the beta receptors and the alpha receptors, right? So the beta receptors are known as the good receptors. So you can just simplify this in the simplest terms: beta equals good. Now the beta receptors increases lipolysis and increases blood flow in the adipose tissue. So adipose tissue is just the fat cells, basically the fat tissue, and then lipolysis, I think that's how you say it. I don't really know exactly how to say it. Maybe there's different ways of saying it, who cares? It's basically the transport of lipids, so the transport of fat cells right now. The alpha receptors basically does the complete opposite. It decreases lipolysis and decreases blood flow in the adipose tissue. So that's basically the basics and the simplest form of the adrenoceptors. Now let's get into more detail on why this fat is stubborn, man. Let's get the scientific research, and obviously I'll tell you at the end of the video, and I'll summarize it kind of in the simplest terms for those of you that just want to know how to lose the stubborn belly fat, and we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so why does all this matter, right? The reason why it matters is because different body parts have different density of these receptors, right? So the hips and thighs actually have 9 times more receptors, right? So there's 9 times more of the alpha receptors than there is of the beta receptors. And like I said, the alpha receptors are the bad ones. That's where those are basically the ones that you don't want, right? So you don't want the alpha receptors, but we want the beta receptors. And in the hips and thighs for the females, man, 9 times the amount. Now for the males, it's not as high. However, I don't know the exact number. However, for males, it's just like the ab fat, again, the lower back fat and the lower abdominal belly area, there's going to be more density of the alpha 2 receptors than it is going to be of the beta receptors. That's why these body areas, or whatever, it's not, I was going to say muscle groups, it's definitely not muscle groups, areas of the body store more fat, right? So these are just like the basic scientific research behind this shit, and the adrenoceptor redux. So what we need to understand next is that certain parts of the body have different blood flow, right? Meaning some have high, some have low. For example, just touch an area of your body where you lose a lot of fat, right? So say for a male would probably be their shoulders or their back. It's quite hard to touch your upper back yourself, you know. So just touch your shoulder, just pinch it, and you'll probably feel that it's a lot warmer than say your lower belly fat, right? Depending if you've been sitting or something like that, depending on the situation. But generally the area of your body that you touch that feels the warmest has got more blood flow, and obviously the area that you touch that feels the coldest has got less blood flow. Now here's the problem, right? Here's the big problem. The fact that there's not getting enough blood flow into this adipose tissue means that it's harder for the fat to get out the fat cell, right? Basically the mobilization that I've talked about in what was the video called? Fasted cardio, that's the one. So that's basically what you can do as well. You can do some fasted cardio, but you need to watch this video if you haven't already, because there's different types of people, right? The leaner individuals and the normal individuals. However, this video is about stubborn fat, so let's keep on the track of stubborn fat. Now that you know about the adrenoceptor redux, remember these are the beta receptors, the good receptors, and then the alpha receptors, the bad receptors. And now we know about the blood flow redux as well, where some areas of the body have more blood flow than others, right? So now let me simplify this in the simplest terms for those of you who are you don't like this too much science, right? For the just general population, the general person that wants to know how to lose stubborn belly fat, and I'm sure that's why you're watching this video, here goes. First of all, you need to understand that in order to lose stubborn belly fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit for a prolonged period of time, right? If you're in a calorie deficit for say 4 weeks, you're not going to lose that stubborn belly fat, because that stubborn belly fat is the last to go, right? It's the last. For example, say I get lean, I get shredded, I'm in a deficit for a long period of time, you'll see the fat coming from my back first, then my shoulders, not exactly in that order, but it'll be like all those kind of muscle groups, back, shoulders, and then chest as well, get the shreds in the chest, and then only the last bit is the lower belly fat, right? The same goes for women. They'll probably lose fat everywhere else, and then the last fat to go is their thighs and their glutes, right? So the simplest term, or the simplest form I can put it for you, is just you need to diet for a long period of time. Now, what's going to happen? And a few things that's going to happen when you do this. First of all, you need to understand that by dieting for long periods of time, your hormones are going to take a hit. Again, talk about fat cell physiology here. Again, leptin levels drop, cortisol levels, and this is the most important one you need to understand, that cortisol levels increase the stress hormone, and when they increase, you start to hold more water. And again, different people have different effects to this. Some people hold way more water weight than others, and again, relating this to women in their menstrual cycles, blah blah blah, hold more water retention, so keep that in mind. Now again, staying on track about stubborn belly fat, the whole purpose why I'm telling you this kind of little story thing is because your hormones are going to take a hit, bang bang bang, and then you're going to hold water retention. Now when you hold this water, you'll step on the scale, you'll be like, why is this not going down? You've got excess cardio, cut the calories way too much, and then that's when bad stuff happens. So you don't want to do that. You want to stay patient, eat in the same calorie amount as you did before to lose that weight, and maybe after a month or two, if you still haven't lost weight, then you may have to change things up, right? So you need to understand that by dieting for a prolonged period of time, it's never linear. Fat loss is never linear, especially for some people. It could be up down up down. Again, individual differences here, so keep this in mind. Now, to lose stubborn belly fat, I did say watch this video on fasted cardio, but let me quickly give a quick brief overview. Now basically it said that if you're a lean individual, say 12 to 15% body fat, fasted cardio is going to help, because blood flow can be impaired when you get leaner. Therefore you want to do the fasted cardio. Again, this is just a really brief overview. So if you're lean, 12 to 15% cardio, yes, fasted. Now if you just say you can't even see your abs anyway, it's just best to do cardio like anytime, because the mobilization, transportation, fat oxidation, all these kind of things are still good. It doesn't really matter too much. There's not too many fatty acids in the blood, all this kind of stuff. I don't want to get too much into that, but basically the point of the video is to lose stubborn belly fat, you need to just diet for a prolonged period of time. Just stick to it, see if you're losing weight. If you're not losing weight for a very long period of time, then drop the calories more, right? So that's what you need to understand as well. And like I said in the midpoint of the video, I guess, that different people have different amount of receptors in different places. For example, I don't store a lot of fat on my back and my shoulders, right? When I lose weight, I can see the fat go from my shoulders straight away. I can see like the little shreds coming in a little bit, and that's just me. For someone else, it might be they lose a lot of fat, say on their, I don't know, their arm, and they don't lose a lot of fat on their back. It's all individual preference. So you're probably wondering, okay, you've told me about cardio, you've told me about the food intake. Now what food should I really eat to lose stubborn belly fat? I've already got a video on this shit, like I don't know how many videos. However, let me just give some more value in this video. So cardio, you should be doing this maybe like 3 to 4 times a week, again depending on where you are, your body fat levels, all this kind of stuff. I'm just throwing a really relative baseline out here for maybe someone that's 15% body fat or something like that. Now foods that you can eat if you're not tracking your calories are, say vegetables, fruits, just basically mainly vegetables or fruits, and lean protein. Carbohydrates and fat, keep that to a minimum. The reason why I'm saying this, and that's starchy carbohydrates by the way, because fruits are still carbs. The reason why I'm saying is keep this to a minimum is because it can be very hard to track if you don't track calories before, and you can overeat them quite a lot. So anyway, the video's going on way too long than it needs to be. That's stubborn fat. The solution for it is just diet for a long period of time. Make sure that you know when to cut calories, and make sure when you know to stick to it. And that's basically it. You need to understand that women will generally store more fat in their thighs than glutes, male lower back fat, lower belly fat. And if you one of these populations, you'll definitely know you experienced this. So anyway, that's the end of the video. Adreno redux, beta receptors, alpha receptors, blood flow redux. Some areas of your body have better blood flow than others. That's the end of the video. Let's get this. Stay positive, stay smiling, and as always, hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel down below if you enjoyed it. And you know what, I'm out.